Time for the Handyman to arrive. Finally, I needed someone to fix my boiler. This series, the one thing I'm going to quickly point out, which isn't a story thing, it's a structural based thing. A lot of the times with TV shows, you have an episode. The episode has, here's the sort of thing that is in this episode. Just a sec, don't worry about this. And then you'd get one of two things, which is either something with a story or just one of jokes. That would just be for the thing. You don't usually get a large overarching story, but you might get a filler story where they just do one episode with like a fun thing, or an episode with a two-parter, or a more overarching part of the story. Right? And that is quite a bit of things. The episodes are beginning to end. There are some which kind of have two. Hansel and Gretel, Phineas and Ferb, I think do sort of, here's one story, but the episode's not over, so here's another. Both of those are common topics. But this one has more than two. So you have small moments, small little jokey bits, building up this sort of stuff. And I think sometimes you get like 3 to 4 little sort of like small pieces all together, cutting to this and that, having these sort of moments with individual characters. And I like that. Because even though there's clearly a story, that's less of an importance, I feel, at the current moment. The characters interacting and the comedy around that, and also some of the story around it. Sometimes there is less than 3 and goes to 2, but you get like smaller moments with individual characters, which I like. Look at other characters, look at these people, and look at how their magic, their system works. And look at them as individuals. Even though Handimand, this guy here, is a huge part of it, sometimes some segments are just not with him. Actually, there's one section which has a wizard with a giant wand and just absolutely hits people. He has it twice. It's one section which is, oh, how do I get through this? And he physically just breaks the wall, which is fun. Don't worry about that. The other one is a one with him, I think it's the first one, and that's the second one, where he comes together and is like, oh yes, spells take too long. And slowly but surely, I don't know where he's come in, because there's stuff with the sort of heroes party that they're creating. The guy with the sword, the guy with magic, because the Demon King's dead. This is one of his anime series where it's like, here's the magical world, but the Demon King, then that subplot, that's just done, he's dead. Which sometimes I like, because it's just fun. It's just people being people, going to labyrinths, finding new things in a labyrinth. And you get so many of this stuff, it's really interesting. And you get this group, which is absolutely really interesting. And I also like the sort of idea that like some episodes do with like him not feeling like needing to learn a bit, because he's not like instantly, yes, and now I have level 9 magic. He's a handyman, so he's able to do some small stuff like open locks and etc. that allows him to sort of like help with chests and this. But he's not like, and also remembering this guy's spells because he forgets it all the time. But I do think this is really fun and really interesting as sort of like that fun twist. It doesn't take itself like, it's a fun magical experience, and yeah. And even though the isekai is the marketing handyman in another world, I don't think it is the only thing that's interesting about this. And other stuff is important. Like there's a ninja, and that guy is awesome. And how that sort of like story beat ends is really interesting. So yeah. This is really worth watching, and I would definitely 100% recommend it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and good night.